are
I'm diving in, I'm going deep. In over my head, I wanna be.
That one.
In
That was
the
great.
rush, got in
There
the
were a
hole.
lot more actions when I was a kid because like I had to like use my whole body. Like I was up, down,
true.
everywhere. It was exhausting.
You wouldn't survive now.
It was a lot more cardio, guys.
Hey friends, I'm Mr. Matt, and welcome to our awesome announcements.
And I'm Miss Gianna.
This is the last weekend in February, so everyone needs to make sure they remember to bring back their challenge cards for the pizza draw.
Exactly, because we want to come bring pizza to your house. So bring your cards back. You can bring them in person or you can upload a picture using the QR code on the back of the challenge card.
It's super easy to do.
And we are also over halfway through our offering project to collect money for Ulysses and Juvia. There's only 1 month left after this.
And remember, our goal is to send them over $1,000 to help them buy food and clothes and school supplies and other things that they need.
So if we all work together, we can totally do that.
So go ahead and give your offering in right now, friends.
And finally, we only have 2 weeks left until Family Fest on March 10th.
Miss Gianna and I are totally gonna be there.
Yes.
And we hope to see you there too.
And that's a wrap. We have no more announcements, so we'll see you guys at the next awesome announcement segment.
All right, see you then. Bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ava.
And I'm Julie. We are so glad that you're here.
Yeah, I'm especially glad you're here.
Ava, you're looking a little pale. Are you okay?
Yeah, but I really need to get some cork for the craft, and it's in the storage room.
Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you're looking so pale.
Well, I came here just before that, and I thought I would run in and get it.
Okay, and?
And I opened the door, and it was
Oh, yes?
really dark.
Oh, Ava, are you afraid of the dark?
Oh, I'm very afraid of the dark. Give me a thumbs up if you have some fears. Me too. In fact, I've got a few. I don't like spiders either.
Well, guess what? Today, we're going to talk about being afraid of things like the dark.
Really?
Yes, we're going to see how Jesus' disciples were afraid and what they did so that they could carry on.
Really? They were afraid of things too?
Oh, yes, they were.
That's really interesting. But do you think you could still come with me to the storage room?
Well, actually, I need to go to my car for a moment, but I'm sure you'll be okay.
Please, Julie, please.
Well, you know who you can trust and call on while you're doing something that's a bit scary, right?
My mom?
Okay, why don't you listen to the lesson while I go to my car, and then you'll see who we can call on when things get scary.
Can you just stay and hold my hand?
Oh, sure. And then after, I'll run to the car and you can run to the storage room.
Okay.
After the great feeding of the 5,000, Jesus told his disciples to get into a boat and cross the lake, called the Sea of Galilee. "I'll meet you later," Jesus told them. It was time for Jesus to spend some time in prayer. As his disciples took the boat across the lake, Jesus went to a place where he could pray. Even though it was late at night, Jesus knew that prayer and time with God, his Father, was important. While Jesus prayed, a violent storm arose. The wind was fierce on the lake, and the disciples, rowing with all their might, weren't getting anywhere. Even though they had been on the lake for hours, they were unable to steer the boat and became frightened. At that moment, Jesus decided to come to the disciples. Since he did not have a boat, he simply started walking on the water towards them. In the middle of that terrible storm, Jesus walked calmly as the crushing waves roared from all sides. As the lightning flashed and the rain pelted them, the disciples looked around in confusion, wondering what to do. And then they saw something on the water. Could it be someone walking on the water? "It's a ghost!" they screamed in terror. Every one of the disciples in the boat was terrified. "Take heart. It's me," Jesus replied cheerfully. "Don't be afraid." He walked confidently toward the trembling disciples who were huddling in the wind-swept, wave-beaten boat. Then Peter answered, "If it's you, command me to come to you on the water." Peter knew that Jesus had control over all the elements, even the weather. "Come," Jesus replied. So Peter began to climb out of the boat and stepped into the water. He was doing it. He was walking on the water. He could hardly believe what was happening. But then Peter shifted his attention away from Jesus and onto the storm. He felt the sting of the strong wind. He looked at the motion of the wild waves, and then he plunged down into the water. "Lord, save me!" Peter yelled. Quickly, Jesus grabbed Peter and pulled him back, helping him into the boat. Jesus looked at his disciples. "Why do you have so little faith? Why do you doubt so easily?" Jesus asked. Then Jesus stepped into the boat himself, and right away, the night became calm. The air went still. Not even a hint of the terrible wind and storm they had experienced. The disciples in the boat were astonished. Their terror was gone, and they started worshiping Jesus. "Truly, you are the Son of God," they whispered in adoration.
Wow, that makes me feel even better that the disciples, grown men, got scared.
Yes. And in that moment, they just called out to Jesus, and he showed them he was near. When Peter needed help, Jesus was only an arm's length away.
That's a funny thing to say, an arm's length away.
It's an expression. It means that he was close to Peter. And when you need help, Jesus is only an arm's length away from you too. Even when you can't see him, he's always close to you. When you're afraid or confused or lonely, you can imagine reaching out your hand and holding on to Jesus. We can even call out to him silently, and he hears us.
I love that I can trust he's always with me, even in the dark.
Yes, when we call out to him, he'll let you know in his loving way that he is near. We can trust Jesus to help us not feel scared. He will give us peace and comfort our fears with his great love.
That makes him trustworthy, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's our bottom line for today. Jesus is trustworthy. I can call on him. Let's say it together.
Okay.
Jesus is trustworthy. I can call on him.
All right, everybody, one more time.
Jesus is trustworthy. I can call on him. Hey, Ava, did you get what you needed from the storage room?
Oh, yes, I did. And at first, I was a little scared. But then I started calling out to Jesus, and I started to feel better right here. And as I felt more relaxed, a thought came to me. Look for the light switch on the wall. And I found it. I think that was Jesus reminding me to look for the switch.
That's great. And that reminds me of our Bible verse, because it talks about calling out to Jesus. Let's all stand up and we'll say it together. Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and faithful in all he does. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 145, 17 to 18. Good job. Okay, let's say it once more.
Okay.
The Lord is righteous in all his ways and faithful in all he does. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 145, 17 to 18.
I love that verse. It is very comforting to me. You can all sit down now, friends.
Well, it sure has been a great morning learning how even when we're afraid, we can trust Jesus and call out to him.
Yes, Jesus is trustworthy. I can call on him. See you next time, friends.
Bye.
Healer, mender, master, savior, lover, giver, name above all names, ruler, redeemer, risen, conqueror, Jesus, Jesus, name above all names.